Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. And as you would have seen in the thumbnail, the Super League plans are back on. This is from a report from the Mirror, which, you know, you can take it as you want. But, you know, we've always known that Florentino Perez was not going to give up so easily, was he? He was never going to give up so easily. So we knew that at some point we would have to rally again together to talk about the Super League. And, of course, we will have to try and bat this one away like we did with the last one. We obviously spoke on this channel in depth about the proposed Super League proposals back in April last year. It was a madness. I think we did like 8-hour streams, and it was a very concerning moment for us all because a lot of English fans did not simply agree with this Super League crap. And I believe that the viewpoint is still the same. I've always said that there is corruption within football. There is corruption within UEFA, and there is also corruption within these so-called presidents of their clubs. And these owners are also just as corrupt. FSG, the Glazers, the Kroenkes, Daniel Levy, Enick, you had obviously the Man City owners, and Roman Abramovich himself, all were a part of this plan. Some quit so quickly, like Manchester City and Chelsea. And they were soon followed by the grovelling rest of the Glazers, the Kroenkes, FSG, and Enick with Daniel Levy. We had some apologies from, FSG. You know, the owner was talking and trying to buy us with his words, and I don't think a lot of us actually agreed. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of the proposed information, and then I will, of course, put the link in the chat as we always do, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and make sure you turn on notifications as well. DC says, Ponic better be here. No way Super League, fuck off, oh my days. As soon as the notification came up, my heart sank. Aaron, big up. It's bound to happen. These mans don't care. It's all about the money, like Jesse J. Well, they may not care, but football fans in the UK still do care because it got a wide range of anger from almost all sections within football. You had anger within the grassroots. You had anger within the EFL. You had anger within the Premier League. You obviously had some of the other fans who were more than happy for it. But ultimately, this was not, no one wanted this. No one liked the idea. But the Daily Mail, the Mirror have said senior officials from Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus have recently held fresh meetings as they attempt to revive their plans for the so-called European Super League. The project was launched in April last year, but swiftly fell apart as the seams fell apart at the seams after 9 of its 12 founding members withdrew their support of the plans. Obviously, we all know most of the teams. Obviously, those also included the likes of Porto, I think Atletico Madrid, but also you had a lot of the English clubs as well who said no. However, Madrid, Barcelona, and Juve have continued to publicly back the controversial proposals, and the project is now set to return with multiple reforms in a bid to win widespread support. I will go through some of those proposed changes that they're going to bring in. and all of that. But there is more. There is more. In October, the trio agreed to 5 key changes to the proposed competition rules, the first major move in their attempts to revive the idea. Kenny says, I understand why Barca and Juve are in it, but why the fuck Real Madrid? Because Florentino Perez sees this as money. And he's no longer getting that money from just being a part of La Liga. La Liga is a farmers' league. It is a no league. It's a nonsense league. It's a shit league. It's no longer the league it used to be. It's Tim Pot. It's not got the money that the Premier League has got. It will never have the money that the Premier League has got because the Premier League is already there. Top players don't want to play in Spain anymore. They want to play in the best league there is, and the best league there is the Premier League for sure. Now, what time will games be on if the Super League does happen? They haven't confirmed that, but I would assume it would be similar times to when the Champions League is on. I'm just asking, would it be a thing if it did happen? Just asking, not saying I want it to happen. Of course, I hear that, of course. And there were fears that they would do games in America and all of that. But before I get into more of the report, let's go back a few months into what they suggested, the key changes that they proposed. So it is claimed that the permanent membership of clubs will be removed from the new proposals, which would see a top division of 20 teams with a second tier, which will also consist of 20 teams. Every team will be qualified through the results they acquire every year in their domestic leagues, and the places will be distributed equally with a reduction in the number of games from the original proposals. The report cites those on behalf of the Super League as claiming that is why we commit ourselves to the fact that the format of the proposed Super League abolishes the concept of permanent members and is open to European clubs. The Super League is also set to throw in extra sweeteners for fans, as it claims it will seek ways to provide financial help for fans to attend away games. Just dangle a little carrot because you can buy fans quite easily, apparently. And a Super League source is quoted by the report as saying, we see interest from clubs to work with us as soon as the ECG has clarified the legal basis. The ECG obviously being the European Court of Justice. Obviously, there was a whole palaver. I was majorly a part of it in terms of the palaver of the Super League. This was rejected by almost everyone. This got widespread condemnation by the likes of Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher were a big part of this, as were all fans. You had a lot on YouTube. And ultimately fans from all over the place, Argyle fans down in the EFL, and fans in the Premier League still didn't want this. So there was a lot about this, and I still cannot see this happening, to be completely honest. But we'll go back into the report because there is some worrying things that I've read that I do not like the idea of, for sure. Kenny says, Ravi, would you still watch Liverpool if the Super League happened? I definitely wouldn't continue watching United. Big up to DC. Rotherham losing 1-0 to Crewe. What the hell? Dylan is still furious. And Kenny prob's not had. Depends on how competitive the league is and what times games are on. What about you? The bit that I don't like is this bit. That followed on from the 3 clubs jointly hiring a major London-based PR firm as they aim to make a concentrated effort to change public opinion after mass fan protests in the UK were a major factor for the original abandoning of the idea. The fact that they have the audacity to try and get a major London-based PR firm to try and sweeten this deal is pathetic. They should have known at the time that this was not wanted by anyone. Nobody wants this fucking stupid idea, so stop it. Nobody wants it. The fans don't want it. And these people need to remember, and these owners, more importantly, need to remember that they are nothing without their fans, whether you are a fan of Manchester United or a fan of, Barcelona. If you go to a game or if you don't, if you watch it on Sky, if you don't, it doesn't matter who you are. Not many fans wanted this to happen, especially those fans that lived in the UK. And I'm not saying that every fan in America wanted this to happen, because a lot of them also understood where they were coming from. Because ultimately, there's a lot of history, there's a lot of prestige within this country around our football teams. Liverpool have won the Champions League 6 times. 6 times. That history cannot be erased. And that is the issue. That is the issue. Football is such a major part of fans. Of fans' lives. This is how this channel started, and ultimately it shouldn't and will not be successful, because I think the minute you try and get these plans back out there, they'll just get rejected again. Fans will protest again. They don't mind it. In fact, ask any of them. They enjoy a piss up. They enjoy going to Old Trafford and storming their own stadium. They wanted to try and force the Glazers out at that point. So, you can try and bring it back, and you can swivel whatever PR firm you want to put on it. It's still not going to get accepted by teams. The Premier League so-called Big Six clubs of Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal and Tottenham all swiftly distanced themselves from the plans after a significant supporter backlash in April, which we obviously already knew. Italian giants Milan and Inter, alongside Spanish club Atletico Madrid, also confirmed they would no longer support the idea, leaving just 3 teams to cheerlead for it. Madrid, Barca and Juve are now hopeful of relaunching the proposal this year and are discussing a legal approach that would create a sustainable project. Last year, Florentino Perez, Juan Laporte and Andre Agnelli, the 3 respective top leaders of the clubs, held a meeting in which the foundations of a project in which they continue to believe in was discussed. Real Madrid President Perez is thought to be the driving force behind the proposals, whilst Agnelli, CEO of Juventus, has been most public proponent of the plans prior to the launch last year. Laporta was elected Barcelona president last March, following a decade-long absence from the post, and has put in traditional rivalries with Perez and Madrid aside to join forces on this front, which would represent a clear break from UEFA. It certainly gets better as you read it. Suddenly the anger just starts to flow away, because you hear the name Florentino Perez and you think, this guy absolutely understands football. This guy loves us all. Obviously, complete and utter bullshit. Ravi says, shame that would happen, because footy is the big part of fans' lives. They will kill fans in not going. Super League, we're back, baby. Let's go. I disagree with the Super League, and I don't actually know what Prime's viewpoint on the Super League is. That will be interesting. Prime, I'm depressed. Yeah, shit. You are, Kenny. You are. The initial proposals were primarily to replace UEFA's governance of European football, including the current formats of the Champions League and the Europa League. And I just want to make it clear right now, I do not back UEFA one single iota, and nor do I back FIFA. Those two can also fuck off. The issue that we've got is I said this at the time, and I'll say it again. You have to pick the best of the worst. You are the best analogy. You have just had a guy take 2 shits on your floor. He's asked you pick the best one. You are picking 2 pits of shit. You've got one's got glitter on and the other one doesn't, because the Super League, they tried to make it look good by shoving a load of glitter on some shit, and UEFA is just shit. So you're being asked to pick 2 loads of shit here. What I would prefer is both of you to fuck off and we just get reform of European and worldwide football. But I don't see that happening any day soon, not with the money involved in football. The move was highly controversial and unpopular due to the fact that it was guaranteeing most profitable clubs would continue automatically qualify, and would remove the premise of sporting fair play and meritocracy. There we go. There was a big word for me that I wasn't expecting to be saying. But in terms of that, yes, of course, people didn't want Arsenal and Spurs to be guaranteed to be in the fucking Super League. And to be completely honest with you, Manchester United might not get Champions League. And there's a reason for that, because they've not been good enough. And ultimately, fair play and sporting, the way you qualify is obviously the fairest way. And it's already unfair because they already have lots of money. A team like Plymouth Argyle's hardly going to go break into a top four, are they? We're seeing how difficult it was for Leicester, and they won the fucking league. So, you know, these teams already got an advantage. They just want more of an advantage, because the teams like Manchester United, and I'm talking directly to the Glazers here, you're too petrified of spending money to be competitive. You just want the easy cop-out. Well, to be frankly honest, buddy, not happening. So do one. Hope the Super League rumours come back like last time, it gets disbanded again just because Super League bangs views. It's not that it bangs views, it brings football together. And I think we found that last time, didn't we? That it did bring football together, and football fans from all over the place were back. I saw United and Liverpool fans, doing that. So it was major. As I said, obviously, the clubs have hired a PR firm from London, from Flint, to help clean up the image of the idea and create a sellable product, and will not receive the criticism that the plans were subjected to upon their launch. Well, hey, buddy-o, not happening. Flint have put together a presentation document entitled "Paving the Way to the Super League Strategies for Reconstruction, the Restart and the Triumph." There will be no triumph, I can assure you there. The PR firm are now set to engage a major campaign which will portray UEFA as an abusive monopoly, whilst portraying the Super League plans as the only alternative that can save the sport. On terms of that, yes, I do agree. UEFA are abusive, and they are an abusive monopoly. This idea is not the way. Reform UEFA. That's the way to do it. Reform UEFA. It can be done, right? You need to do that. Instead of me having to have Florentino Perez as the... You're governing it yourselves, essentially. Florentino Perez is governing a league which he will be in. What? This is the same guy that said we should have 60-minute matches instead of 90-minute matches, because people don't have the patience or the patience to sit through a 90-minute game. The guy is on crack cocaine. The guy is not right mentally, nor physically. I mean, he's in his 70s. So absolutely no way is that going to happen. The court in Madrid ruled UEFA should lift sanctions on clubs to continue to pursue the European Super League project, while the Court of Justice in the EU in Luxembourg are set to decide this year whether the project is legal. The Super League may have been firmly rejected by fans across the UK last year. The club officials withdrawing their support, but the project appears to be far from dead, which we already sort of knew. We sort of already knew, and that's sort of the end of the story. And there's a lot to that, and I'm still, as we talk about it, fucking fuming, as you would expect. But I suppose the issue that we've got with this is it really, really, really cannot happen, and I don't think it will happen, because ultimately I can't see fans suddenly, because you've got a PR firm and because it's going to portray UEFA as the bad guys, which we already know. Like, does this PR firm actually understand what it's doing? Because it's trying to say to us, UEFA are bad. Tell us something we don't know already, dickheads. What we don't like the idea of is Florentino Perez and the Glazers running a fucking league. Of course we're not going to like that idea. That's stupid. To have the Glazers and Florentino Perez and the Conques all having sex on the top table and defining the rules of a league to which they're competing in is not the fucking answer to corrupt UEFA. Are you hearing yourselves? I'm saying this out loud and it sounds stupid. How do you not? Unfathomably, they think this is a good idea. Are they fucking stupid? I don't understand life sometimes. I don't understand how they're going, UEFA are the bad, they're the monopoly. Well, duh, we already know UEFA bad. Guess what? Glazers and Florentino Perez? Badder. Dickheads. So yes, now I'll get Prime on the show. I'm just about to put a link in anyway. Aren't fans those groups that beat people up? Well, I doubt that. They're public relations, mate. Smashing someone's head in is hardly going to give you good public relations. Basically, public relations, what they will do is they'll try and spin this in a way to make it look better for us. So they'll essentially, what they will do is the shit analogy is coming back, guys. You've got two lumps of shit, and that PR company is going to drizzle some glitter on one of them, and you're going to be like, that's beautiful. What a beautiful thing. Of course you're not. It's still going to stink of shit. Wasn't the talks last time that they were going to shorten games? Yep, 60-minute matches because they're stupid. Calvin's not happy. It's because of Green Street now. That's why I thought those fans. Yeah, Green Street isn't probably what they're going to be doing. I can't imagine that the Flint, the PR company, is going to come to my house and bash my head in because I've said no to a Super League. Because that's not going to help with public relations. As I said, what they're going to do is they're going to drizzle some glitter on this shit. But guess what? It's still going to stink of shit. Big up to Fluffy Puffy Puppy. Hope you are well. But what I will do now is I will put the link in because obviously there are quite a few of you in here, and it will be good to get some of you on to give your opinions on this, which is obviously going to be quite cool. But yes, the link's in the chat. I'm just going to pin it now though, because then that's easier to find. Prime says bring back the Super League. I mean, I disagree completely with that proposition, but each to their own. I can just imagine some Don knocking on Niall's door and beating him up. He would certainly have a difficulty because I'd kick his head in for sure. But Aaron, 2 piles of shit, one's getting glitter. It really is the best way of describing it. Actually, I never thought of. I definitely didn't when I was making this stream, thinking I was going to compare UEFA and the Super League to 2 piles of shit. But it does actually work as a bloody good analogy, because UEFA are corrupt and they are shit, and we do not like them. Of course, it's UEFA. The Super League is also shit that I don't like, and basically the Super League have hired a PR agency to dazzle some glitter on their shit. But hey presto, they're both going to smell of shit. But Aaron, what's your thoughts on this? Because Prime's here, and I feel like me and Prime might get into an argument on this, so we'll see.
I mean, it doesn't exactly make this any better. It is still a pile of shit, and it's still shitting on fans. It's still shitting on their love for the game. It's still taking away the beautiful game and Americanizing the whole fucking thing. It's ridiculous. It's like you've just gone to my house, you've burgled my house, and you've broken all my precious items. It's like saying, well, I've burgled your house and I've also broke your precious items. What do you prefer to have not happened? It's still
I think my shit analogy works much better than that.
Oh yeah, that was 100%. I just didn't want to steal your analogy. But no, like, you know, there's only one thing that's better from the last proposal, and that is actually that there's no permanent members. They have a chance of getting relegated now, which is, you know, a positive. But the rest of it's still fucking shit.
I mean, it's still quite bare on ideas, isn't it? It's still quite bare on detail, and I'm sure over the next coming months and the next 11 months, if they are actually going to do it by this year, we'll get a lot more detail coming out. We've seen what the PR firm Flint are going to look at and try to do. But also, we have to wait for the ECG. Because the ECJ, obviously a European Court of Justice, is obviously currently seeing if this is actually legal. So we don't even know if what they're doing at the moment is even legal.
I think Madrid Zone posted in recent weeks, or I think it was during the months, that that they've actually announced that the Super League have done everything by the book and it's all legal.
No. What they did is, so a court in Madrid said that they should do this, but they are not the ECJ. They are not the European Court of Justice. Unless something has come from the European Court of Justice, then I will take it more seriously. But a court in Madrid is not. I'm afraid you are peasant in terms of information I need. I need the information from the European Court of Justice because they are the donkey bollocks in Europe. So you don't mess with the ECJ. But that's just facts. Big up to Fluffy Puffy Puppy. I am well, thank you. I am also well, thank you. Fuck America, and eyes in this regards a North American. Yeah, as I said, when we did this last time, and when this was knocked out for 6 the last time it came out last April, we actually had a lot of Americans going, we'd rather you didn't Americanize this sport, because it actually, there's different things here. But obviously, looking at it, they may have relegation promotions. I don't fucking know with this lot. You never know. I'm sure they'll find a way of keeping United and Real Madrid and Arsenal in there, even though they're just not needed or justified. Or Spurs. In fact, if anyone could actually ask me, tell me why Spurs were even in it for the first place, I'd love to know. Considering Nottingham Forest have more European trophies than them, wouldn't it be more acceptable for Nottingham Forest to have been put in this? England teams that are not going, that's why would they? Well, yeah, there is money. But Prime, let's go to you. I don't know if you're trolling in the comments or if you actually do want the Super League. I suppose the first question would be, why the hell do you want the Super League? And second question being, are you okay? Is Prime there?
Next question is, do you need counselling if you do think this is acceptable?
Potentially, he's just got cocaine. He's like, yeah, it's a great idea. Well, we're waiting for Prime to come back. So, Kenny, obviously, I know you're completely against the Super League, but just give us your brief thoughts on this.
Actually, thinking about it, I don't want the Super League to happen, because then I might be able to have an excuse of stopping supporting United. Then I could finally stop the pain.
Okay, and have you got a serious remark to make apart from that Manchester United are currently shit?
It's disgraceful what they're doing to the sport. That 60-minute thing stands out for me as how that just stands out to me as how much you can't know the sport. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I am completely against the Super League. To be fair, it's just It's just fucking.
That 60-minute crap was it just made me laugh, because I've got a short attention span. I struggle doing things for more than an hour. But funnily enough, when I'm watching football, I can watch the whole 90 minutes. So I'm quite happy doing it, because guess what? I enjoy watching fucking football. Like, come on, let's use our brains. What is the Super League? Well, what is the Super League is an interesting question, because I don't think ultimately anyone really knows. But basically, what the proposals are is 6 greedy English owners. Prime is here. We love to see it.
Super League. Let's do this.
Six greedy English owners wanted more money. United, Arsenal, and Tottenham didn't want to have to try and compete in Europe because they can't compete anymore because their clubs are just run so poorly.
Not everyone can win the Champions League. Carry on.
You're right. I don't think you'll do it this week, but this year. But basically, it was it 16 elite clubs within Europe, all the so-called Big Six in England. Even though at that point Leicester were in it and Spurs were not, were called in to be a part of it. All 6 did take part. Then you had Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, Inter Milan, and AC Milan. But Prime, talk to me. I mean, what's your thoughts on this?
Wait, hold on.
Oh Lord! Why can't he get vodka?
Address me properly. Super League Prime. Address me properly. Super League Prime.
No way. But no. What's your thoughts on this pile of crap then?
Bring the Super League. Bring it home, baby.
Why do you want the Super League out of any?
My thought process now is the same thing back then. Like when they announced it and stuff back then, the way it was, people not being relegated or promoted from it, like, is wrong. It kind of closes off the system and stuff. I get that. However, if it's a new competition or a new league competition, like, I want my club, I want Chelsea to be the best and biggest club in the world. If this is going to be something that the best teams or the best clubs in the world are competing, I want my team to be a part of that. Whether I agree with it or not, I do want my team to be a part of it. I do want my club to be a part of it. So I'm just like, and again, it's not going to go ahead the way it's being proposed. It's going to have to be fixed properly. Or
I know. I've read the PR firms' little mini dossier of what they're planning on trying to brainwash our minds, saying that UEFA are a abusive monopoly, which, hey presto, we already knew. I don't use the two poles of shit analogy because I think UEFA are great. UEFA are obviously corrupt, but you know what? I'll take UEFA over Glazers running a fucking league. Like, come on. Let's just put that bit into our brain. We want a league run by Florentino Perez, who said cut matches to 60 minutes because people haven't got an attention span to watch 90-minute matches, which, hey presto, is absurd. Then you've got the Glazers to run this, and they have run United into the ground and further. And the Kroenkes are part of this, and they are not loved by Arsenal fans. You've got fucking FSG who have basically, they are lucky they have Jurgen Klopp, because without Jurgen, I don't actually think Liverpool survive FSG's ownership. And Enik, are we really? We want Tottenham running this?
Again, I'm not saying
got a shit owner as well.
Again, I'm not saying how it's being proposed and structured now is the right thing. Obviously, again, it needs to be like fixed and stuff. I don't even really think it's all going to go ahead anyways. I said this when it first got announced. I was on the terrace. We did a stream on the first XI as well. I was the only one who was calm about it. It's not going to go ahead. However, if it does, I do want my club to be a part of it. I'd rather we be in it amongst the biggest clubs and competing than not be.
I understand. I was also completely calm during it because I also knew that this shit wasn't going to get off the ground. I mean, it's basically like a balloon with about 50 grams of lead in. Like, no chance of this getting all 50 tons of lead in. Trying to get this off the ground was virtually impossible. Especially when you got players like Cristiano Ronaldo saying, nah, this ain't for me. When you get players like that saying, that's not really for me, and Bruno Fernandes for United, some of the biggest players within their clubs, shit's gone south quite quickly. But in terms of the whole proposal, Aaron, do you think this shit will get off the ground? Aaron's not there. Prime, do you think that? Well, you've always said you don't think this shit will get off the ground, did you?
No, not the way. Again, not the way it's being proposed as is. However, I do think a sort of league of sorts where the biggest clubs or the best teams play should be something that happens. Well, again, but it has to be an actual competition where you can qualify for it and stuff.
But is that not what the Champions League is already? Where the top teams in Europe will qualify to be a part of the biggest competition in the world, apart from obviously the World Cup.
However, I do think there is going to be something else, whether it's like an actual league system you play in or whatever.
Oh, hey Presto, that's also within that, because that's getting unveiled on in 2024-25. They're actually changing it to the proposed system of the Super League. So UEFA have already, they've tried to pander to these parasites, and I include Roman Abramovich in there until he says no, hey presto, because at the end of the day, I do have an issue with this, and I have an issue of any owner thinking that it's okay to try and do this. I also didn't. I will find a way to financially help you get to away games. Like, come on. You could do that for the Champions League. You are rich enough, but you choose not to. That's fine. So don't tell me that just because it's a Super League that you'll be able to do this. You're rich enough anyway. You could easily get your fans to away games. It's not that hard and it's not that difficult. You could help them financially, but you choose not to. So don't try and dangle that carrot in front of us all, because to be frankly honest, that's about as transparent as, a plastic sheet. So
the thing is, though, with like the way I see, like the way fans reacted to it when it first got announced, and the way people will probably react to it now, I'm just like, be consistent with saying that, because you say it now. If it had gone ahead back then, and you're having a Super League where you're seeing, the best players in the world, Harden, Mbappe, whatever, face off against each other, I don't want you guys watching that league then. If you're complaining now, if and when it does get set up and you're still against it, that means you shouldn't be watching it then. That means
Don't
the Super League would then have low. I'm not talking about you now. I'm just
I was
talking
just about to say, don't worry, buddy, because I won't be watching that shit anyway. Don't worry about don't worry about that.
Because I know people are hypocrites. If you guys are actually against it, don't watch this Super League. And in a year's time, or probably less than a year, they'll see the viewing figures and it'll get scrapped. So don't watch it then. I'll watch it, but you guys don't watch it.
The thing about the Super League for me was, at first when it first came out, I was thinking, the glory hunters are going to absolutely buy into this. I was surprised at how many people were against this, because I thought there was going to be some people, a considerable amount of people, that was going to be bought in by this crap. But then it sort of made me think, if we had a Super League where it was lower league teams given billions of pounds and competing with all lower league teams in Europe, imagine if the elitists tried to stop that. I thought, how many people would have stopped that if it was lower league teams compared to how many people would have tried to stop it if it was the elite being more elite?
Oh, you'd have had every Tom, Dick, and Harry trying to stop the small guy from getting more money. I mean, Jesus Christ! What did the EFL have to try and? How many hoops did we have to jump through to get that loan from the Premier League during the pandemic? I mean, I'm pretty sure we had more hoops to jump through than a fucking box of Cheerios. So
exactly. And to be perfectly honest, I would rather see a team like mine, a team like Argyle, facing teams like Östersunds and Bochum than Man U facing Barcelona every week. I would rather see.
I do like the idea of watching Manchester United versus Real Madrid, but I like the idea of watching it in the fucking Champions League, which is already there.
I'd rather see lower league teams face other lower league teams in Europe and given their own competition. The action.
I don't really give a shit if we have a European competition or not, because to be frankly honest, I've no interest in it. Right? I couldn't give a shit if we're taking on some Azerbaijan team at home park in the God knows what. So I have no interest in that. I do want to watch the best players play for the best teams against each other. It's why I watched Chelsea versus Liverpool the weekend in the Premier League. It's why I will watch Chelsea versus Manchester City with Kepa Arrizabalaga. Redemption, here we go, baby. I can't wait.
Remontada season.
Yeah, redemption is coming for these Chelsea fans who criticised him, and me and Prime we will have an online form for you to apologise to Kepa Arrizabalaga. Don't you worry about that.
But just me personally, I would like to see UEFA give some more respect to the lower league teams and give us a competition.
I don't really know. They shouldn't, because the point of being in Europe, and I think this gets lost by so many fucking people. The point of being in Europe means you are one of the best teams in your country. Therefore, you play in Europe. That's what. It's why I'm against the Conference League, because I just think you're devaluing European competitions by making more and more lesser competitions. We are fine with the Champions League and the Europa League. I think that's fine. But to make more, I think you're just devaluing the competition. You're devaluing what it means to get to Europe. If let's say in 25 years' time, Argyle somehow managed to get into a top 4 spot because we've invested, the thought of going to watch Argyle versus Real Madrid will feel much more special if that is the first time that we've ever travelled in Europe as a team than if we were facing some team in Azerbaijan. Like, let's be real. And that's the way I view it. And also, Aaron, you'll never have to worry about Doncaster qualifying for a European spot, even in a lower league.
Ooh, actually, yeah. Before I ask my question, who wins the Champions League first? Doncaster, Argyle, or who does Charlie support? Rovers.
Rovers, probably Argyle, to be completely honest.
Plymouth Argyle by a long shot, but Bristol Rovers second and we're last at the moment.
Plymouth Argyle versus Arsenal in the Champions League final. Let's go.
Or Chelsea.
Would we be beating them again to prevent them from getting more Champions League? Well, They haven't got Champions League silverware. Sorry, wrong question.
But no, it's just,
before I
me
go
personally, I feel like there should have been a lot more thought for the fans, but also I feel like there should have been a lot more thought for lower league football, and I think we should have been given something instead of the elite getting more elite.
Oh yeah, so you just want UEFA, you just want them to bribe us. What a great idea! Whilst Aaron is so easily bought, I am not. But Prime, what do you want to say, mate?
You're not easily. If you were offered 5 million, you wouldn't be easily bought.
Yeah, the 5 million. Okay. I mean,
okay. Hypocrite.
You're probably gonna want more. You're probably gonna need to offer me. To be fair, like 5 million is life-changing money. So I mean, that's not really easily bought, is it?
Niall says no. Offer more on top.
Yeah, offer me more. I want life-changing amounts of money here. I want life-changing amounts of money. But I'm not so easily bored than this turnip who was like, give us a league and we'll be fine. I want
we'll be fine. I just want to see more investment in lower league football.
Judging from the sounds of it, as long as they gave Doncaster a little competition where you can face teams in Ireland and Azerbaijan, Aaron is completely cool with that idea. Whereas
I'll speak to Don Roman. He'll speak to the Super League. We'll get you into it in 2030. Okay?
Well, no, we'll look at when the Premier League first broke off from the rest of the Football League. They were all together, and then it was like money thrown into one division, and then the rest of us just got forgotten about. Give us a chance to experience what we might not get to experience with the Champions League, Europa League. Give us a competition. Give our version of the
because
Champions
again,
League.
you devalue the European competitions by doing that. Your issue is actually of the Premier League, who actually need to start, funneling that money down a little bit easier. Because to be frankly honest, it don't happen. When winning the championship gets you like 20 million and getting relegated gets you 110 million, I think we have a fucking problem. So sort that money out, and I'm sure we'll be grand. But Prime, you were gonna say something apart from taking the piss out of Aaron.
No, I'm not taking it. Look, I was being serious. If Argyle don't want Super League, I'll give it to Doncaster. It's fine. But
I just want cold hard cash. I'm not so easily bought.
You don't want a chance to beat Arsenal Football Club at the Emirates?
No, we can do that in the FA Cup.
But in the Super League?
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter because the issue of facing Arsenal is it will just be too easy. And that's ultimately the issue.
That's also fair. But yeah, my question is before I head, you were saying about how it's a UEFA to help the lower leagues. Is it not the country's what's it called the FA in the country's job to help the lower leagues? So it's not the English FA's job.
I completely agree. I don't know why Aaron's trying to get UEFA to fix our fucking problems. That's why I said you should probably redirect your anger from UEFA to the Premier League. That's where your anger should be, not UEFA.
UEFA does but UEFA does the European competitions, so get them to work with the EFL.
But we don't have a European competition. Like
that's what I'm asking for. That's what I'm asking for to give us more money.
How is
wait. You want the lower leagues to have a European competition?
Apparently so. Aaron, I'm going to ask you one question. What do you think is the viewing? What do you think the viewing ratings would be of some team of people watching Doncaster versus you playing, I don't know, some team in Azerbaijan? And let me tell you, how many people watched Tottenham Hotspur in the Conference League this year?
I don't see the viewing figures for that one.
Did any of you watch Tottenham Hotspur in the Conference League this year?
No.
Anyone? Right.
I watched like 5 minutes of a highlight reel.
Right, okay, so that's still no. So essentially, there's not even the appetite to watch Tottenham Hotspur in the Conference League. What do you think the appetite of watching Doncaster Rovers in, I don't know, the shit league versus some team in Azerbaijan?
Yeah, but you're talking about
something new and fresh. It's a new team in there.
I kind of get what Aaron's saying, but Niall, you're going way too low. What if the second division in each country, so Championship, the Bundesliga 2, La Liga 2, League.
But then what happens to League 1 and 2? Do we just get left behind again?
You'll never be fucking happy.
Get into the second division. Get into the Championship, and then you can play.
This is what I mean. Aaron wants a competition for every fucking league. Aaron, I don't want to be rude here, mate, but not every country has got the amount of tiers that we've got. Some people only have 2 tiers. I don't think San Marino has quite got 2. I don't even think they've got 2 tiers of football, let alone 1. So it's like, how do you propose this? I mean, firstly, it's absurd, and secondly, I mean,
Also, I don't think you want to see, like, for example, in the Italian league, there's a club called Venezia. I can't pronounce it properly. They're about to get relegated. I don't think you want to see Doncaster play that team because as bad as they are in Serie A, they would beat you.
Well, yeah,
and that would be more embarrassing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, a couple of comments here. Prime question: what, in your opinion, is so good about a Super League to happen? Well, and don't misquote Prime. He's not a fan of the Super League. He just says if the Super League were to happen, he would want Chelsea to be a part of it, which I understand.
No, I do. No, I do actually like an idea of a Super League.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
No. Listen, the way they're going about it is completely wrong, by the way. But the thought process of a Super League of sorts. Well, again, wrong word for it. But a thought process of something like that is interesting to me. But the way they're going about it is completely wrong. However, I'd rather be part of it if it's happening than not be part of it. Because,
I get that bit. I can't see Man City, Man U, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool doing the Super League. Not if fans start invading Old Trafford again, and judging from how shit their security was last time, I'm pretty sure that would be quite easy to do repeat part 2. This time, I don't think those people will be so easy to get off the fucking pitch. And Graham Souness might want to watch out because there might be more flares going towards his head.
The last time there was a Super League and there were protests, Chelsea won the Champions League. Just saying.
Yeah, but last time there was also protests. Graham Souness nearly got a flare shoved in his head. So, it didn't work out for everyone. Big up to Tyler. See, Liverpool might get called off versus Arsenal. I did see that. Bring back Super League and it will be my main team. I watch them get beaten highlights. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. No one actually watched Spurs in the Conference League. So the appetite of a fucking European competition for Leagues 1 and 2 is just not there.
Well, I mean, Spurs. But however, if Arsenal get relegated to League 1, AFTV in the what do we call it? The lower league,
the European EFL,
the UEFA lower leagues. I'd watch that. UEFA lower leagues. The music performed by
a clown
that does music.
The UEFA Football League. The UEFA Football League.
Football League. Yeah.
The anthem would be sung by Mark Goldbridge.
I'd watch it. Hey, if Arsenal win it, I'd watch it. AFTV. We just lost 6-0 to Doncaster. Give us your thoughts. I'd watch it. Come on.
Yeah, no, but that's because AFTV. I mean, United, KR says this is a joke. Is this a joke? Is the Super League actually back? Well, no. The Super League never even got off the ground in the first time. The Super League isn't back yet. They are looking at proposals. They will be looking to bring it back this year. They basically done another shit, but this time they've got a PR company to put lots of glitter on their shit in the hope that they won't smell of shit. Hey presto, it's still gonna stink of shit. Tyler says I'll still support Liverpool, but I won't really follow them. I hear that. That was said a lot. That was said a lot last time. Aaron would only moan that they are playing too many games when their league suffers more. He probably would. He'd be like, we've got to play 46 games, and then we've got to play 4 games in the European lower leagues, and then we've got FA Cup and JPT and League Cup, and well, that's JPT. So,
I mean, could you imagine a lower league team lower league fans saying that we've got a game in the Papa John's Trophy, and then we've got a game midweek in the UEFA Football League in between 2 league games in League 1?
Yeah, it would be ridiculous, and that's just not happening. Well, if this happens, I'm not supporting United anymore. Again, I don't blame you. But if you are new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because we are always looking to bring you all the latest information around the Premier League and these clubs. But yeah, what were you going to say, Prime?
Do you know who you would be playing? For example, I just looked at a Bundesliga 3 team. You would be playing up against SV
Meppen, and Grogan, Victoria Berlin, some team called Eintracht Braunschweig, Braunschweigen.
Yeah, so
Even
basically,
Keith, that's your level. No.
you're going to be playing European Wi-Fi codes, and that shit just ain't happening. I used to be Martial. I don't know if you remember. I remember, of course, I remember. I remember Martial. Cohen's just like plus. But I mean, say again.
I do have a stream to go to. I stayed longer than
Unbelievable.
I do.
Unbelievable. Have a good one, mate. Have a good one. Catch you in a bizzle.
Thank you. Kenny, it's nice that you have your camera on. Don't worry. I still remember everything you said to me. I'm coming back.
But yes, if anyone does want to join us, then the link is in the chat. Feel free to press the link and come on and have your say. But I get what Prime is.
I've just had a look at transfer market. We'll be playing the likes of Barcelona B and Real Madrid B.
You could headbutt this lad. I get what Prime is saying, but they aren't going about it in the wrong way, aren't they? But they aren't going about it in the wrong. They are going about it in the wrong way for sure. For sure, they're going about this in the wrong way. They shouldn't. The proposals are not good enough. The proposals are a pile of wank. The proposals are shocking. I think that's ultimately the only way to describe this. Oh Lord, Kenny, I'm not reading that out. Jesus Christ. And not aren't meant. All right, yeah, I get that, and then they're not going about this in the right way. And ultimately, if you ask me to put money on if I thought this was going to go on or go ahead, ultimately no, I simply don't think it'll go ahead because I don't think there's the appetite within the fans. I mean, Aaron, is there any way that they can dress this up and you'll support it apart from giving Doncaster a European league?
Like I said, apart from the fact there being no permanent members, which is one of the things that we didn't like about it, the rest of it's just similar to the first proposal, to be perfectly honest. So I really don't think there's any way to dress this up. I think it's just throwing glitter on shit. It's just it's like breaking a kid's toy in front of his eyes and you're just stitching one part of it up with a plaster. It's not going to fix anything. It still broke the fucking thing. It's capitalism and elitism at its very, very best. And you have to wonder if this does go ahead, what does it mean for us, for me, for you, for other EFL fans, and the financial support? Because if it's true and there's billions of pounds that's going to get put towards lower league football, then that's a good thing. It's more than what the Premier League were offering. But if not, then what's the bloody point?
I'd want contracts that you can't get out of it. You like genuinely, I would want it removed completely, that they can't get out of it. But ultimately, I don't see this happening because, as I've said, UEFA needs reform. I've been one of the main, well, not main, but I've been quite vocal about the dislike of UEFA, and I do think that UEFA needs reform. But ultimately, I can't see it happening like this. How long are you streaming for? I'm not really sure. I mean, if people come on, we can keep it going for longer. But if people don't, then there's only so much I can talk to Aaron and Kenny about the same idea before we start repeating the same thing. I mean, I might as well just go go get the video off YouTube and then restart it and just play the whole thing again because it'll become very repetitive. So really, it depends on if new people come on, Tyler or yourself. It really depends because, I said, there's only so much before it starts to become repetitive. But Calvin says, I disagree with it being capitalism. This is far from capitalism's definition. I think plan A was not maybe capitalism. Let me, I know a little bit, but let me Let me look up a definition of capitalism. An economic and political system in which a country's trade and industry are controlled by private owners for profit rather than the state, an era of free market capitalism. Yeah, it's nothing like capitalism. It's just a big team trying to keep more money, which is just basically being selfish wankers. Brandon says, Kenny, where do you think Man U will finish this season? I'm saying 10th.
8th to 10th.
Lovely. But Kenny, can you see this idea even getting off the floor this time? Because the last time they did this, Old Trafford got stormed. They got the biggest match in English football postponed, which actually only meant that United were even more fucked in 1 week because they had to play 3 games in 1 week. But the reason they did it, I thought, was for the right reasons. And I'm not saying that, throwing a flare at Graham Souness is a good idea, but, that man has been quite openly, not openly racist, but, man is a little bit racist. So I suppose got what coming to him, but I'm not saying it's right, of course. But do you see this getting off the ground, or do you think that this is just have 50 tons of lead just shoved in the balloon?
As you'll see, it's completely different from our analysis because it's not going to get off the ground, and if it does get off the ground, actually no, that's not what my question was, so I won't say that. But it's not going to get off the ground. It's just it can't get off the ground.
Fucking God!
As I was just read the private chat. It is true though.
No, it's not the private chat at all. I've seen it and it's fucking disgusting. Michael Boswick has joined Stevenage on loan. Why are they signing League One players and we can't sign shit?
Aaron's still angry at Doncaster. But Kenny, you were saying?
I don't know how the Super League is. Fiorentina, Perez, and Laporte, and whoever the fucking Juventus Donny is, I can expect the Super League to, get off the ground this time around, because honestly, the same thing's going to happen, and the same cycle's going to happen again. Everyone's going to go crazy about it. There's going to be protests again,
Old Trafford will get stormed again. Nothing new for you guys, because this time you'll probably be sitting around 10th in the league, and this time there'll be pure fucking anger. And it's like, we were second the last time we stormed it. Now we're 10th, and you want to do this shit again? That's it. Burn the fucking shit. Burn the shit down. They can rebuild it. Like,
I'd throw like 3 flares at Graham Souness just to make sure that fuckers. Actually, I can't say that on live stream.
Calvin says the Souness has some malicious agendas for
all
sure.
All against black players.
Yeah, he's never really got an agenda against a white player. I mean, he was backing Harry Kane, but when Paul Pogba does it, Jesus Christ. But then we're talking about a completely different conversation, and we'll discuss racism within football. In fact, I think we've already done it before. It was a very uncomfortable stream, but guess what? This channel's all about having these uncomfortable conversations because they need having. That's why we spoke openly about the LGBT rights and all of this. So, we're all for uncomfortable conversations, if you like it or not. But he does hate Pogba for sure. And it's definitely because he's a flamboyant man as well. Am I talking about his mum? Not quite. Question: would teams, players, managers want to join a Super League? Well, we already saw last time with the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Cristiano Ronaldo, even Brandon Williams was dead against this. Although Brandon Williams, when trying to describe this, posted a picture of Liverpool's trophy parade and say United's, but hey presto, shit happens. Whilst I also don't think that was Brandon, it was his PR company that did later get changed, and all is good. But the idea was still there, and ultimately, no, these players didn't want to. Kevin De Bruyne spoke out, but yeah. There was a lot of this is what I mean. There was widespread condemnation from everyone, going from Gary Neville to Jamie Carragher to the players to I think even some managers. I think Pep, who has won the Champions League with Barcelona, was against it. I mean, Oli was against it, but still backed the Glazers. But when Oli found out, this is his reaction.
To bits. becoming emotional now because they stop, and that's they'll be fine.
You did that to him. You guys did that to him by saying that he was the problem and not your players. You made your legend cry on a broadcaster millions. You did that.
Yeah.
You vicious bastards. Us as City don't have enough fans to storm the ground, nor United the only team to do that. You clearly haven't met a Scouser then. If a Scouser's determined, they will storm Anfield, no problem. No problem.
I've said that the problem with United was just it was more than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It was the bloody football. Yeah,
well, I mean, we're not going to talk about Ollie. I was just using that as a sort of joke. But look, this won't be the last time we talk about the European Super League. I'm absolutely certain of it, judging from the report I read. And when there's more information, we will bring you the coverage of that. And
when do you think we'll hear more then? When do you think we'll hear more?
I'm really not sure, mate. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could sit here with a timeline going. We'll know more. At this point, of course, I'll do some.
Meanwhile, I'll just focus on being depressed by my own club.
Yeah, you do that. I'll do a bit of research and try and find out what's going on with the ECG, the European Court of Justice, and when there's more information, we will bring it to you. And it appears that we're the only football channel on YouTube that brings you this sort of information. So, if you do like the idea of this, not the idea of the Super League, but the idea of the exclusivity before the other wankers jump on this like Goldbridge, then make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Tyler says any other content? Not today. We had Ref's View. We've got this one. I'm feeling really motivated though. But if you haven't checked out, I do want to quickly plug this thing there. If you haven't checked it out, go to www.letstalkpremierleague.co.uk. We've just actually opened our own website, which brings you some articles. At the moment, we've only got United articles on there because they were the most recent team to play. We are going to be looking at getting some more articles done for the website as well. So please make sure you check that out as well. If you go on to United, we've actually been able to embed a YouTube video from on there of the highlights of Wolves United games. So if you want to check that out, feel free to as well. And there'll be lots more content being put on there as well. And if you do want to write, or you are a writer and you want to do some writing voluntarily, of course, then please do get in contact. And there obviously is opportunities available, and you can use that sort of thing for showcasing your abilities to get maybe a job with the Athletic one day. You never know. So you've got to start somewhere, I suppose. Please do check out the website. As I say, it will have lots of interesting content. I actually did an article. Did an article today talking about what needs improving at Manchester United, which was quite an interesting one. Believe it or not,
here we go from Romano. We got here we go back. Kieran Trippier to Newcastle. Here we go.
That's happening anyway. I think we all know that's happening. So make sure you do check that out. It's going to be smashing. I would have watched live, but had a crazy day at work. Woke up at 4 a.m. Didn't finish till 7. That's a bit crazy. That is a bit crazy. A website, nice. Yes, a website. We have got a website, and we're going to be looking to expand it and all of that. Might try and get an article on there. Should put the website in the description now. It is in the plan. It is in the plan to do so. God. But yes, obviously we'll certainly be getting that in the description as well. But before you do go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check out our socials: Twitter Let's Talk EPL, Instagram Let's Talk EPL _, and on TikTok Let's Talk Premier League. Aaron, where can they find you, mate?
You can find me on Twitter, Aaron_Challoner, Instagram at Aaron Challoner Official, YouTube Pro Football DRFC, and Coast Chal. By the way, Barat Yilmaz has been linked to Hull City with the new takeover set to come in this week, so that's a really weird one. But now I'm going to go back to putting my away trip to Barrow next season.
I'm gonna enjoy watching that. Need to see Kenny's run. Yes, he certainly wasn't too happy.
Yesterday with Mel.
Yeah, but Kenny, where can they find you?
Just quickly, if you're a parent, keep your kids away from Aaron.
For fuck's sake.
Bro, you can find me at KennyB210. Then you have to request the account. Kenny did answer on Twitch and Kenny TV on YouTube, which has recently had a new profile picture, which was made by I can't disclose who it was made by.
Yes, I've been getting my creativity fingers out again, which we always love to see. In fact, that reminds me, I need to do something for Tyler later. I'm gonna have dinner first before I do that. Although it might not even matter if there's not a match against Arsenal on Thursday. But of course, we'll do a watch on for Chelsea Spurs tomorrow, which should be an interesting one, provided that one goes ahead. FYI, negotiations with the EFL does not normally go well, so Liverpool fans might get disappointed quite quickly. Trust me, I know.
This pissed me off because Leyton Orient was forced to postpone their tie last year, and I don't know who they were playing. I think it was
Spurs went through automatically.
Yeah, if Liverpool asked theirs to get postponed and they just move it, it's one rule for one and one rule for all.
They might not always. They might not. Well, they might not move it. They might just give Arsenal a 3-0 lead in the first semi-final.
Leyton Orient's a little club. They're going to kick them out.
We don't know that, do we? And a lot's changed. You never know. I'm not betting on it.
You know that there wasn't another halftime score in your game versus Morecambe.
It's the EFL. It's the EFL. They're corrupt. It's always going to happen. We don't need to speak about Morecambe because I want to forget that.
Yeah, you want UEFA to give you a league, and that's you're talking to the head of corruption. But no, Russian. That's true. Appreciate it though. Always, mate. Always. Kenny Rants are legendary. Ahmed Ahmadi appears to be facing a move to Hull City when Ford what's happening. I'm not sure. But I'm getting a call, so we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out. Oh.